You guys do not even yet understand how big this move is going to be. This is a massive, massive opportunity that I've been going on about for such a long time. I was not planning on filming a video today, but so much is happening, time-sensitive things that some of you are even asking about. You want to know what to do right now with all the strength we've been seeing in a lot of these stocks we're talking about. Gold just today hit $2,320 an ounce. It's roaring up $9 today. And if you remember, it was actually not that long ago. It was at the end of November where everyone was saying, can gold break through 2,000? Can we hold 2,000? We're going to be able to go higher than that. And we broke through, and that was a matter of 3 months ago. And we're already up $350 an ounce past that point. And I realized how important it was to address what I had to talk to you about today because of a lot of the emails we're getting. And if you were reading the Peter Leeds newsletter, you would have seen the back and forth I had with Elizabeth the other day, asking about how high can Avino silver mines go and what happens now, and do you believe in this stock? And I told you guys the back and forth, I showed you that. But that is just one of many questions we're getting about what to do now that all these gold mining and silver mining stocks are doing exactly what I expected them to do. And so before anybody takes any action, I want to tell you some very specific things about how to handle this profit. You don't want to make mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes you can make and miss out on even more profit. So just bear with me. I'm going to tell you exactly how to handle the situation you're in. And it's a good situation, good problem to have. But there's a lot of things you could do that will actually pay off big time if you do it right. And that's what you're going to learn about today. And as you can see, I'm back in Detroit for a couple of weeks probably. So I don't have all the lighting and the same stuff I have at the studio. So bear with me. This is the way it's going to be. I always explain it to you this way. If a gold mining company is producing and selling an ounce of gold and it costs them $800 an ounce for all in sustaining costs, and then the price of gold has now gone up another $350, $400 from there, that's just the amount of profit because they're using the same workforce, the same machinery, the same resource they're pulling from, and the price just changes on its own. And all of a sudden, when they pull out an ounce of gold, instead of making $100 profit, maybe they're making $450 profit. And with profit margins, when they go up 1%, that's meaningful. When they go up 5%, that's massive. And when you have a profit margin that's absolutely exploding many times over, as it has been with gold mining and silver mining companies, that is going to translate eventually, very important that I said that, eventually, to the underlying stocks, the stocks that are producing and selling those metals. And I say eventually because it hasn't even yet bled over to the gold mining companies. This is a massive, massive opportunity that I've been going on about for such a long time. I told you the price of gold was going to rise, and I told you why it was going to rise. And everyone just forgot what the point of gold was or what its value is. And now they're all waking up and coming back to where I was talking about where we're going to get to. And then I'm telling you now that the mining companies are going to be the big beneficiaries. And I told you that then silver is lagging gold and it's going to catch up even more. But what I need to tell you guys, because a lot of people I think have been frustrated with the gold trade because it took way too long. And all of a sudden now some of these stocks are finally moving. They're going up. Avino silver mines went up 20% the other day. And they think, wow, this is great. I just made 40% or I'm up 50% or 100% all of a sudden really quickly. I'm going to take that profit. And they think they've done great. And they have. You can't go broke taking a profit. I'm not going to ever tell you not to take a profit. I am going to say that the move you've seen so far is still not fully played out, not even close. But the increasing share prices of these stocks are actually based on an underlying real fundamental factor. The thing they're digging up is more valuable. So it's justified that the share price increased. So if you cash out now, and I'm not telling you what to do, this is not trading advice, if you cash out now, you could sit there crying in your beer for the next 20 years as gold and silver prices continue to increase in value. Besides the central bank buying demand trends that I told you guys about for years, that now everybody else is waking up to and talking about, besides that, there's a risk premium right now because we're closer to World War III than we ever have been. And you know that governments are not going to stop liquidating their currency, producing more and more dollars to pay for everything, while ignoring the fact that that makes the value of all the dollars you have less. And so if you want to buy anything, it's going to take more US dollars to buy it. Whether it's your grandfather's house, an ounce of gold, or a whole bunch of coffee or soybeans or pork bellies. Imports are going to cost more. We'll get less money for the exports we send out because they keep liquidating the currency. And a big part of that is that it's going to make the price of gold and silver increase dramatically. And that's what you're seeing now. Besides the central bank buying trends that only affect gold, it's going to make gold and silver and all precious metals increase in price. That's going to turn into the profit margins of the mining companies, the high quality ones. There's a lot of bad mining companies out there. You want to look at the ones that we talk about in the newsletter because they're safe. The high quality mining companies will be massive beneficiaries. And I even wrote a couple alerts to Peter Leeds subscribers a while back. I said, you guys do not even yet understand how big this move is going to be, how profitable this trade is going to be. So don't jump out early. Don't take your first 40%. Let this trade play out, because where it's playing out has a long way to go. And part of that is evidenced by the fact of how fast gold prices are rising right now. It's not like they're rising in a measured, manageable, sustainable way. They are spiking. For gold, it's not like a stock. A stock can move quickly. But a commodity that's been used for thousands and thousands of years by everyone worldwide, for it to move this fast, this much in such a short window of time is absolutely beautiful, but it's not unexpected. It's a catch-up trade to where it should have been year, 2 years, 3 years ago when I was talking about this. Gold's finally doing the first step. And what's going to happen next is that then silver will follow. What's going to happen next is that gold mining stocks will follow, and then silver mining companies. And we're seeing that with, just look at some of the ones we talked about in the newsletter. Avino Silver Mines. Silver prices went up 5% in a day, and for a commodity to raise that much in one single day, it's not a stock, it's a commodity, went up 5% in a day. The underlying companies that sell that metal, their profit margins explode, and so they go up by more than 5%. Avino went up 20% the other day. Endeavor Silver Mines, Fortuna Silver Mines, these silver mining companies are exploding, but this is the beginning. Warren Buffett's the one who says, give everybody else the bottom 5% and the top 5% and give me everything else in between. You've just seen not even the first 5%. You've seen the first 2 or 3% maybe. Get into this trade. Let it pay for your kids' education. Let it pay off your car loan. This is a clear, and I say low risk, I don't even know if I can legally say that. It can be a low risk, clear trade to create money. Invest a few $100s, take out a few thousand. It's clear, and a lot of you guys are benefiting from this right now, but I'm telling you, in my opinion, that it's absolutely dramatically too soon to sell right now. And by way of disclosure, I own shares in about every stock I am talking about today. Since the stock price gains that we've been seeing are based on a fundamentally justified move, specifically the dramatic increases in the prices of precious metals, then that means that you let your gains run. Typically, you're going to want to wait after you see 20%, 30%, 40% gains. Don't pull the trigger yet. Let it play out. It's going to be, in my opinion, hundreds of percentage gains, and you want to be on board for that. You don't want to sell in and out and then miss something or lose a few dollars here or there. You want to just invest and do nothing. What could be easier than doing nothing? You just have to wait. So what I want to do to give you an idea about sort of valuations of things, I'm going to show you a 5-year chart of gold prices, and I'm going to counterpose that with a 5-year chart of Newmont mining. Just to show you that here, gold prices were here, and the price of this stock that digs up and sells gold was here. And, some negative things happened maybe, but not anywhere close to the way that the stock price behaves. You see how Newmont shares declined so much, while gold is now up here. This is a discrepancy. This is an opportunity. This is a massive gift for you. A lot of these precious metals companies could be one of the most profitable trades almost certainly in 2024, but for years going forward. Now, does this look like a company, Newmont Mining specifically, as one example of many, does it look like a company that has made it public that they're going to be buying back $1 billion of their own shares? Do you see the discrepancy? Investors are missing this. They're not awake. It's clear. It's great to see precious metals waking up. The mining companies are just starting to get ready to wake up. And the eventual destination of gold prices and by extension mining companies and silver prices and by extension mining companies that mine for those metals, the eventual destination is going to be tremendously higher in my opinion. Look, the price drivers that are pushing up precious metals are not slowing down. If anything, they're increasing. You look at the central bank buying trends are expanding. The US dollar creation, monetary creation is expanding. And in fact, has never done anything other than expand. And in more recent history, it's actually increased, accelerated the amount of the monetary creation. It got even worse. The risk premiums are as high as they've been in my lifetime. And speaking of which, Ramadan ends on Tuesday, and that's when Iran says they're going to respond to the latest strike from Israel that happened in Lebanon. They've vowed swift and significant vengeance. That is going to dramatically accelerate all of the military conflicts that are going on and add to the price premium, risk premium, and things like oil and gold. That ends on Tuesday, Ramadan. It's important, I always say, I talk a lot about gold lately because that's the one that's in focus, but I'm not a gold guy. I'm an opportunity guy. Look at some of the stocks we're talking about. These are technology companies, disruptive companies, small businesses that are just getting started, getting past their proof of concept phase. And look at some of the stocks that we talked about for the Peter Leeds newsletter, like Veritone. I'll show you where we picked it. This is just recently. Kodak, Pixelworks, Bark, however you look at it. Right now, I believe that everybody should have exposure to or investments in some kind of precious metals company and oil, energy. These are the two things that are going to be thrown around a lot by whatever happens with all these military conflicts that are going on. We all hope for the best, but in the worst case scenario, you're going to want to help the people you care about by being invested in things that go up in price a lot. All the bad things in the world are going to happen either way. It's good for you to recognize that, and if it does play out, that then you actually get some benefits so that you can help yourself, people you care about, and enrich your wealth. But now you guys are seeing why I have been harping on this gold trade for literal years and years and years. And you guys can go back and watch all the videos I did about it. I've been talking about this for so long, and I'm so relieved it's finally playing out now. It should have played out just like this 2 years ago. We kind of got delayed in life for a couple of years at one point. But now you understand why I wouldn't give up on this and why I wouldn't stop talking about it, even when everybody had no idea the value of gold at all. They thought it was a forgotten relic or whatever they said. And I just was always sticking to my guns because I saw it clearly. And unfortunately, some of the other things that I'm seeing clearly right now are not that great. Real estate, as it started to come down now, as I expected it would when it was going higher, and I said it's not going to. Real estate's going to come down. Office real estate, forget about it. You guys have heard all about that. Just office vacancy. These companies, and a lot of the banks that are the backstoppers for a lot of these loans, they're the ones who are going to really take the hit. The banks are going to be under pressure. We're going to have a few banks go under in 2024, a few more. And then we roll right into the recession. And then at one point after that, we are going to face a massive currency crisis. And I'm going to be walking you guys through this the whole way to your benefit, just like with the mining companies that I talked about, a lot of these technology companies that we're talking about. I want to help you guys understand what's happening and interpret the information that you're being given properly, because you're being told the economy is strong, because the stock market's doing well and unemployment rates are low. Watch what happens. There's going to be major opportunities for you to enrich yourself, protect yourself, help the people you care about, more so than most times, because with all these changes going on, all these major events, there's going to be so many opportunities that are coming and going quickly. You got to act quickly, and when you do hook onto a good opportunity, the gains from that will be greater than you probably realize. So the way you can help keep us connected so I can keep walking you through this stuff is if you subscribe to this channel. Take care, you guys. See you next time. If you want some of our free learning tools, or you want to see why the Peter Leeds newsletter is one of the most popular financial newsletters of all time, swing over to peterleeds.com and you can learn all about it.